Never apologize for showing feeling. When you do so, you apologize for the truth. Fear can only grow in darkness. Once you face fear with light, you win. When we stop fighting against death, we are able to wake up to our lives. Love and friendship. They are what make us who we are, and what can change us if we let them. You were put on this earth to achieve your greatest self, to live out your purpose, and to do it courageously. I never found beauty in longing for the impossible and never found the possible to be beyond my reach. Schizophrenia may affect how we perceive reality, but it cannot diminish the power of our imagination and the strength of our spirit. Sed nescio quomodo nihil tam absurdici potest quod non dicator ob aliquo filis forum. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. What we can change is our perceptions, which have the effect of changing everything. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. You'd challenge me and lose. You know it, I know it, but you'd still do it. Sometimes your sense of honor confuses the hell out of me. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. It's always hard to lose somebody. It leaves a hole in your heart that never grows back. The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. Giving thanks fills you with light and joy so you can shine like the bright star you truly are. Moods can be contagious. Don't catch or spread a bad mood. Never apologize for burning too brightly or collapsing into yourself every night. That is how galaxies are made. I only want to write, and there's no college for that except life. I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human actions, but to understand them. I am ignorant of absolute truth, but I am humble before my ignorance, and therein lies my honor and my reward. It was only a sunny smile, and little it cost in the giving, but like morning light it scattered the night and made the day worth living. We should not judge people by their peak of excellence, but by the distance they have traveled from the point where they started. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. Truth often sacrificed for the sake of stability and peace. No one from the outside can tell or show you what is in your heart. Thought is so cunning, so clever, that it distorts everything for its own convenience. Nobody is exempt from the trials of life, but everyone can always find something positive in everything, even in the worst of times. You need to find a way to live your life that it doesn't make a mockery of your values. Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. There is no normal life, there's just life. Get on with it. In the face of adversity, we have a choice. We can be bitter, or we can be better. Those words are my North Star. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. A man's concern, even his despair, over the worthwhileness of life is an existential distress, but by no means a mental disease. The truth always carries the ambiguity of the words used to express it. When you change your thoughts, remember to also change your world. Happiness is something we reap from the seeds we sow. Plant misery seeds, and that is what you reap. Life is a drama full of tragedy and comedy. You should learn to enjoy the comic episodes a little more. The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. Price of peace could only be valued by people who had suffered loss in the war. Sometimes we don't get second chances, Owen. Sometimes things just end. If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you are going to run out of gas. The hardest battle you are ever going to have to fight is the battle to be just you. The demon that you can swallow gives you its power, and the greater life's pain, the greater life's reply. I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Beyond the fiction of reality, there is the reality of the fiction. It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. The mistakes I've made are dead to me, but I can't take back the things I never did. Take each day in your open palms and close your fists around it. This life is not done with you yet. Good ideas stay with you until you eventually write the story. Creativity sparks originality, which then manifests itself into what we call evolution. To depreciate imagination is to depreciate life. We are animals, and as animals we kill to survive. Unfortunately, some of us are monsters and kill just because they can. Sometimes we have to soak ourselves in the tears and fears of the past to water our future gardens. When one has a grateful heart, life is so beautiful. It is not needful for our dreams to be very grand nor very big. It is only needful for our dreams to be very shiny. Treat everyone with politeness and kindness, not because they are nice, but because you are. One has to take a somewhat bold and dangerous line with this existence, especially as, whatever happens, we are bound to lose it. The worst thing about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth. Life is like a novel. It's filled with suspense. You have no idea what is going to happen until you turn the page. Through all of living, have much joy and laughter. Life is to be enjoyed, not just endured. There must be those among whom we can sit down and weep and still be counted as warriors. He who binds to himself a joy does the winged life destroy, but he who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. All sacrifice and suffering is redemptive. It is used to either teach the individual or to help others. Nothing is by chance. It is impossible to build one's own happiness on the unhappiness of others. This perspective is at the heart of Buddhist teachings. If a man has character, he is also his typical experience, which always recurs. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. To force oneself to believe and to accept a thing without understanding is political and not spiritual or intellectual. You didn't just cheat on me, you cheated on us. You didn't just break my heart, you broke our future. If you spend your life sparing people's feelings and feeding their vanity, you get so you can't distinguish what should be respected in them. There is no sickness worse for me than words that to be kind must lie. We all have stories we tell ourselves until we believe them to be true. To see me does not necessarily mean to see my face. To understand my thoughts is to have seen me. When you choose one way out of many, all the ways you don't take are snuffed out like candles, as if they'd never existed. Maybe you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Firework. It is easier to be wise for others than for ourselves. Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last forever. In the end, you can't always choose what to keep. You can only choose how you let it go. Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. We should live our lives as though Christ was coming this afternoon. With the truth, all given facts harmonize, but with what is false, the truth soon hits a wrong note. Wisdom is the reward for surviving our own stupidity. As we go through life, we gradually discover who we are, but the more we discover, the more we lose ourselves. If your feet are firmly planted on the ground, you'll never be able to dance. In order to be yourself, you must first know who you are. If I don't find sitting at the feet of Jesus the most glorious place in the world, nowhere else will meet my expectations of wonder or beauty. There are two ways to reach me, by way of kisses or by way of the imagination. But there is a hierarchy. The kisses alone don't work. In wisdom gathered over time, I have found that every experience is a form of exploration. There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough. From whichever side I start, I think I am in an old place where others have been before me. You have forgotten the one who doesn't care about ownership, who doesn't try to turn a profit from every human exchange. A bitter reality of truth can be wisely told in a sweet tale of lullaby. The light at the end of the tunnel is just the light of an oncoming train. A world without poetry and art would be too much like one without birds or flowers, bearable but a lot less enjoyable. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. The secret to achieving greatness lies in the art of planning. When we map out our dreams, we pave the way for success to follow. When it rains, it pours. Maybe the art of life is to convert tough times to great experiences. We can choose to hate the rain or dance in it.